Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the new Mini 5-door hatch. Now I've wanted to drive this car for a while, ever since taking a look at it a little bit earlier in the year, and today I've got the chance to. So we're going to take a real quick little refresh of some of the design cues, both exterior and interior, then we're going to go and take it out for a drive. Now, before we go and do that, let's just talk about what this exact car is. So this is a Cooper S 5-door. Now, there are a few differences with the new Cooper S. This is a sport as well, so you get the John Cooper Works look everywhere. So the different design to the bumper down here, the John Cooper Works logoing everywhere, the Cooper Works wheels, a rear diffuser, the big spoiler on the rear as well, and John Cooper Works allocation everywhere. You'll notice there is now no bonnet scoop, and there are also no visible exhaust pipes down on the rear of the car. That is the big difference from the previous generation Cooper S to this new generation Cooper S. The design cues, I think the car looks very, very similar to before. You've still got the lovely circular lights here, however they've got slightly different running lights in there. You've then got a slightly different front bumper and rear bumper, completely different rear lights as well, which give the car a little bit of a different identity. And then of course, being the 5-door, you've got a very slight change to the shape on that rear quarter. But what do you guys think about the look of the brand new Mini hatch, and especially this new 5-door? Now, the interior of the 5-door is exactly the same as the 3-door, and in fact it's pretty much the same as the Countryman and also now the Aceman. Mini have made their interiors very uniform across the whole range, and I really like that. You can jump from a 5-door hatch, a 3-door hatch, an Aceman into a Countryman, and you just know exactly where everything is and what everything does. You've got this really lovely chunky John Cooper Works steering wheel directly in front of you because this is a Cooper S Sport. Now the Sport also gets shift paddles behind. They are only on the Sport models. We've then got this fabric all the way across the dashboard here, these new air vents all over the place, the new design, the new large OLED touchscreen in the center where everything is controlled. So your air conditioning, your heated seats, your steering wheel, your navigation, your Apple CarPlay, everything is all controlled here. There's then no speedo directly in front of you. It's now all done on a heads-up display. Now, because this car is a level 3, we've got loads of specs. So we've got Harman Kardon sound system. We've got a split sunroof up here, which opens as well. We've got electric seats with massage function down here as well. A wireless charging pad in the center too. Here, there is a very, very distinct lack of buttons and air conditioning units. Again, as I say, it's all now on the screen. You've got your engine start button, your drive select mode, your experiences mode, your volume, your parking brake and so on are all on there too. And then we've got these seats. These are the sport seats and they are fantastic to sit in. Really lovely, lovely things. But that's enough of that. If you want to see a little bit more in depth of the new Mini range, again, please subscribe to the channel because we've got loads of Mini content on there. So go and check out our Mini playlist. But now I'm going to start this thing up. I'm going to go for a drive and see what it feels like. So welcome then to the driver's seat of the Mini Cooper S 5-door hatch. Now, as I've already mentioned, this is one that I was quite intrigued to drive. I actually have already driven the 3-door hatch Cooper S earlier on in the year, and I absolutely loved it. So I just wanted to know whether a few more doors, a little bit more space, have really changed this car too much. And well, from the very first few yards, I can tell it hasn't. The Cooper S for me has always been a fabulous little car. I actually had one of the previous generation, a 3-door in Thunder Grey, and I absolutely loved it. It was a great, great car. So the fact that Mini have kept that character through to this newer shape is a really good thing in my opinion. But what about this 5-door? So we've still got a 204 horsepower engine up front. 0 to 62 is dealt with in about 6.8 seconds. So it's no slouch at all, this car. But what I wanted to really find out is the character still there? Does this still feel very much like a Mini? Is it still that joyful, fun little car to drive? And well, the other thing is, these cars have always been super, super usable. And obviously because this is now a 5-door, it's even more usable and even more practicality orientated than ever before. So we just need to work out, if it's still got that practicality, or whether it's usable on a daily basis, or is it too hard, is it too harsh, is it too bumpy? So first impressions are, it's none of those things. It is brilliant still. It's well, I mean, it just feels so grown up now. The whole Mini range has really grown up, in my opinion, and I think Mini have instilled a real sense of maturity in this new product lineup, while still retaining a lot of the fun. They've retained the joy and the fun that made a Mini, but only, as I say, with more maturity, with a bit more composure and grown-upness on the road. Just the fit and finish, firstly, of everything in the interior is fantastic. You hold this big, chunky John Cooper Works steering wheel, because this is a sport, which feels super well put together. It makes the car feel really sturdy to begin with. And it's one thing that I think don't really get enough recognition. Your immediate touch point with the car and the way that it feels is the steering wheel, which I think is such a vital thing to how a car feels for me. I don't know whether I'm just talking rubbish there, but I think a steering wheel is super important, because it's your touch point. It's where you feel what the car is like through your fingertips, through the wheel. And I really like this one. It's really cool. But then when you look past that and start thinking about the actual dynamics of this car, the steering is lovely. There's a nice weight to it, so you just know exactly what the front wheels are doing at all times. You can place the car really easily on the road. Again, people will say, oh, it's not a Mini anymore because it's grown. Yes, of course it's grown. Everything's grown. But even as a 5-door with a tiny bit bigger, sort of more space, it still feels really small on the road. I've driven some big cars very recently, and this feels a really good size for the UK roads. It feels pretty much spot on. The suspension is doing a great job of dealing with some of the horrific roads that we have here in the UK. This road that I use here now to test cars is very broken up. There's a lot of potholes, there's a lot of undulations, there's a lot of camber. And even today, on a freezing cold day, what is it now outside? It's 3 degrees outside. It still feels really composed. Doesn't feel like it's sliding all over the place. Of course, it's front-wheel drive, this car. You can't get a manual gearbox with it anymore. It's just the brilliant automatic. But let's just see. Let's drop it into a different mode. Let's go up into go-kart mode. Let's drop it into manual, because why not? And let's see what it's all about. Firstly, it picks up its feet really well. The gear changes are super quick. The paddles are a joy to use. And when you do start picking up pace, it really feels like it comes alive. It's got still just so much character to it. There is a tiny little bit of torque steer, but I kind of like that. It adds to the whole feel and the theatre. I think it's retained everything I needed it to, and it still sounds good. Now, I know a lot of this sound is pumped through the speakers, but you know what? I don't mind that. I want it to still sound good, and if it has to be pumped through the speakers, I'm fine with that. Current legislations and stuff mean that cars can't sound like they used to. They just can't. So I'd much rather it be pumped through the speakers than make no noise at all. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but yeah, I still like the noise. But other than that, it's super responsive, super quick to turn in. It's still got that fantastic Mini feel that I really hoped it would. It's a great car to drive. It's got plenty of pace, plenty of character, and it ticks all the boxes for me. It's just as fun as the 3-door hatch, but now just with a little bit more practicality sprinkled on top. It's a cracking car, this, and if you want any more information on the new Mini 5-door hatch, do please use the link in the description of this video to contact your local Sytner Mini retailer. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys again very soon.